It's going to be. Hello, 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 everyone. I've missed you. I hope you've missed me as well. You guys know who this is. It's Doc from Doc's Success Formula, solutions to personal, professional, and relationship puzzles. But tonight we're on that personal and slash professional tip. We're going to be talking about home ownership. We're going to be keeping it real estate tonight. So we're going to be keeping it real estate tonight. And there's a really, really good reason why we are keeping it real estate tonight. So we're going to talk to our guests. We're going to give it a couple of minutes, let you guys come in. I see the live numbers going up, the YouTube numbers. So give you a chance to come on in. So, happy winning Wednesday. I'm going to introduce my guests and then we'll get into our conversation. But while we're waiting on you guys to come on in, I got to tell y'all about what happened this evening. I want the dealership would remain nameless. But I took my car this morning at 9:30 a.m. to get service, team. Just for a little oil change, a little tire rotation. That's it. 9:30. They called me at 11 and said, hey, we need to do this and this too. I said, okay, do it. That's great. Get it done. My executive admin said, hey, Dr. Chelsea, they haven't called you about your car. I said, well, they close at 7. I'm probably going to be the last call. 6:30. She said, well, I think we need to call about your car. We called about my car, and the service department was closed already.
Oh, Lord.
Charlisa, they closed and didn't even call me. They didn't text me.
What?
They
Are you
say,
serious?
not ready. We had nothing. No conversation. And then the man was like, oh, it ain't nothing we can do. I'm sorry. My hand's tied. I don't know what, I was like, what? How am I going to get home? I'm stranded.
Yeah.
He was good and like, hey, I'm just the finance manager. Well, you need to call the sales manager, the general manager. Somebody need to do something. So executive admin said, we're on our way up there. So we're on the phone with him while we're on our way up there. He started saying how he can't do anything. My sales manager is at home. I said, which I can't go because I don't have a car.
Uh-oh.
I can't go there. So you need to call him and have him come back. I said, call your general manager. He said, no, he's at a funeral. I said, okay, we're on our way up there. So I had to literally y'all know how I had to get. I was being all, Cher was all, yes, and yes, sir, we understand. And then Lisa, you know what I had to put on them. Listen, I'm just not understanding. I'm confused.
You have to do
now it's Josh. Oh, we can give you a used car for the night. You could have given me a used car 15 minutes ago. You let me get all upset, and you could have just given me a used car in the first place.
Right.
So I just want to see if they're gonna charge me all this money tomorrow, Sandra. They better be telling me, here it is.
Service.
Huh?
I said great customer service.
Great customer service. How great was that customer service?
Yeah, that's horrible.
Horrible.
Not to call a person and tell them they car not ready. That's crazy.
Not ready. They don't.
That
We're
we're gonna have to keep it.
You have to call in the morning to find out.
Oh no.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and you need to talk to that service manager because they suck too.
Yeah.
They should have made sure.
I got home at 8:30, mad. I rushed in here at 8:30, getting in here, try to hurry and eat some food. And here I am with you all now. So, but we're gonna see what happens tomorrow. If they don't make it right tomorrow, I'm telling who they are, where they are, his name. I'm going on blast. Yeah. I'm doing it right. I am. So guys, I see the numbers are up. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. Again, tonight is keeping it real estate. And if you do not know, we know y'all always tell me how I do too much. I know I wear a lot of hats. But these hats that I'm talking about tonight are two of my most favorite. And it is the managing broker of Premier Coast Realty, where all of these awesome people work, as well as I am the president of the Jacksonville Association of Real Estate Brokers, which I'm going to talk a little bit more about. And so before we get into our talk, I want to introduce our panelists. And so I'm going to start with the veteran in the squad, Sandra Joseph. Tell us good
Sandra.
Hi, I'm Sandra Joseph. I have been a real estate agent for the past 10 years. I am an agent with Premier Coast Realty.
She's also our agent success coordinator. She forgot to mention that. So she sells and buys and help you invest, but she also assists the agents in making sure that they're compliant, helping them write contracts. And if you did not hear that accent, she's an island girl. Where are you from?
I'm an island girl.
Where are you from?
I am from St. Croix, Virgin Islands.
So she is an island girl. So thank you, Sandra.
Yes.
We're going to go to our next veteran. that's going to be LaShanya, who is like me. She wears two hats. LaShanya, tell the good people who you are.
Hi, my name is LaShanya Williams. I am a Premier Coast Realty agent. I've been an agent now for about a year, but I've also worked in the mortgage industry for over 20 years, and I am also a loan officer for Freedom Mortgage.
Yes, yes. She's actually one of our preferred lenders. So what better lender to have than one that you can just tap on them? Hey, LaShanya, she's right there in house. So she's a preferred lender for Premier Coast Realty with Freedom Mortgage. And so we're excited to have her on our team. Oh, she forgot to mention, y'all. She went to the Premier Coast Real Estate School. I was her instructor.
Yes. Wouldn't have it any other way.
Is going to be Miss Charlisa Freeman.
Hi guys, I am Charlisa. I am also a real estate agent with Premier Coast Realty, and I was taught by the best, Mrs. Dr. Chester with the Premier Coast Realty School.
Thank you, Charlisa. Charlisa is on a very, very important team at Premier Coast Realty. We'll talk about that a little later on and what their goal is, etc. And so is Josh. And so, Josh, introduce yourself to the good people.
Hello, I'm Joshua Hunt. I am a new real estate agent. I have been an agent for just under a year, and I'm excited to embark this journey.
Josh, tell them about your former experience. You were former what?
Oh, I am a former military veteran, and so I have served my country for 2.5 years, and I'm using the things that I learned in the military and kind of applying the structure and the system and the me being independent, trying to figure things out in real estate here. So I'm here.
All right. Let me tell you why we have Lisa, Charlisa, and Joshua. Guys, this is the future. They're millennials who are making it happen. Going to talk about just how important those millennials are as it relates to home ownership and how we must make sure that we have a special focus on them. And so if you do not know, one more person before I get to running my mouth, one of the most important people in my life, even though it's hard for me, y'all. Y'all know, everybody been telling me for a long time, you need an assistant, you need some help. Well, I got some help finally. So I have an executive administrator who assists me with all of my many hats that I wear. And so, Pastor Sherry Ray, y'all, she's a pastor. I tell everybody, because y'all know I have so much hell in me, they had to give me an assistant that was a pastor. So Sherry Ray, introduce yourself.
Oh, God, that was funny. Wow. I am Pastor Sherry Ray of the Church of Worship International Ministries. I am also a member of the leadership team at Premier Coast Realty. As Dr. Chester states, I assist her in, all things real estate. I am so excited about what's coming up this Saturday. She's going to talk about that I've had an opportunity to help with. It is just, I'm so excited about it. So I'm glad to be here.
Thank you so much, Pastor Sherry Ray. And so again, guys, I'm your host, Dr. Melissa Chester, managing broker for Premier Coast Realty and the local board president for the Jacksonville Association of Real Estate Brokers. And so we thought it would be a great idea to bring this show on tonight because one, most of us do not know what month the month of April is, but the month of April is Fair Housing Month, guys. Fair Housing Month. And for those of us who do not know what Fair Housing Month is, it is when we as in African Americans were given the equal access to housing. It was written into law in 1968, the Civil Rights Act of 1968, the Fair Housing Act. And it was about disallowing discrimination as it relates to our 7 protected classes: race, color, national origin, religion, sex, familial, and handicap status. So not allowing discrimination based on any of those things as it relates to housing. That's the provision of housing, that's the lending, the financing, the advertising of housing, etc. It is all about democracy and housing and making sure that we have equal access to housing, because we have not always had that. And so when we're looking at our home ownership numbers, understand that there's a reason that we don't own as many homes as our counterparts. It's because historically we were not allowed to for many, many, many moons. And so, but in 1968, April of 1968, we the Fair Housing Act was actually signed into law by Lyndon B. Johnson. And so this is Fair Housing Month. And so being the local board president of Jacksonville Association of Real Estate Brokers, there is a national arm started back in 1947, because again, guys, we didn't have access to housing. Well, guess what? When you got licensed as a realtor, Black people couldn't be realtors. And so 12 African Americans got together and they created an organization called the National Association of Real Estate Brokers, because they could not join the National Association of Realtors. So they created NAREB. And NAREB was about, again, democracy and housing. It was a way for them to be able to have access to showing homes, etc. And so they started that organization in 1947, national organization, and there are local chapters all across the country. And I have the privilege of serving as the local board president here in Jacksonville, Florida. And so it's important that we understand our history, guys. It's important that we understand how we got here, why we're in the situation we're in. And so I am the local board president for JREV. And again, Fair Housing Month. We also do, in the month of Fair Housing Month, Realtist Week. We couldn't be realtors, so they created Realtist, Real T-I-S-T, Realtist. So because they couldn't be realtors, they created their own organization, and they were realtists. And so not only am I a realtor, I'm also a realtist, and I'm so proud to be, right? 12 African Americans got together from all across the country, and they actually met down in Tampa, Florida. And one of the men was actually from Jacksonville, Florida. And so a little bit of history about Fair Housing Month, Realtists, right? And so when it comes to Realtist Week and Fair Housing Month, we are excited to announce that we will be having a home buyer seminar in Jacksonville, Florida, Premier Coast Realty, this Saturday. And so the Jacksonville Association of Real Estate Brokers will be having their Realtist Week. Our Realtist Week begins on April 11th through April 17th. It culminates with the home buying seminar. So there will be 2 back-to-back seminar opportunities for those of you that are in Florida. We have April the 11th and April the 17th. April 11th or April 10th? April the 10th, Saturday is the 10th. And so we're really, really, really excited about those opportunities. So that's why we're doing the show tonight, because we need to talk about housing. We need to talk about why housing is so important. But to talk about that, we need to understand our history and why we are so far behind. And so just wanted to share those little tidbits with you before we got started. And I'll be sharing the flyers about Realtist Week, as well as our home buyer seminar. There's an Eventbrite link for this Saturday seminar. There is also links for our week. So we have different things that we'll be doing this week, and we'll be sharing that information throughout the broadcast. So that was my PSA. So if you're looking to sign up for the home buyer seminar for Saturday, you can reach out to 404. Ms. Sherry, is it 2727? Which one they calling? 414. Which number are they calling, Pastor Sherry? You're on mute. $9797, right? Unmute yourself. Okay.
I did.
Go ahead now. You keep muting yourself back. Unmute yourself. Okay. Now, go ahead.
Okay. 904-404-9797.
So that is for this Saturday. We're going to have 2 sessions, 10 a.m. and 12 noon. So there are 2 different sessions. There's an Eventbrite link, but if you call that number, we can email you or text you the link, or we can sign you up. So 904-404-9797. For the home buying seminar that is April 17th, there is an Eventbrite link that I will be sure to place in the chat tonight. Okay, so Fair Housing Month, guys. Okay, So here it is. We want to talk a little bit about home ownership. Now, we're not going to give you everything tonight because if we gave it to you all tonight, there would be no reason for you to come to the seminar on Saturday. But we are going to give you some nuggets, some tidbits. And so we're going to talk about first just the importance of home ownership. So we're gonna talk to our guests about the importance of home ownership. So as realtors, I want you guys to talk a little bit about why did you get into real estate? What was your why for getting into real estate? So whoever wants to go first.
Well, I can speak first to that, Dr. Chester. One of the reasons why I wanted to get into real estate is my husband and I, we have a vision. And one of his biggest visions were husbands and fathers that need to have a place where they can go with their children. Because a lot of single fathers or fathers that are divorced, they have a struggle with being at a place with their children. And so he really wanted to get into.
Oh, I don't know. The devil is out. The last time she was on the show, her connection did that. She was in Detroit last time, LaShanya. I don't know what's the excuse this time because she's in Jacksonville. She'll be back. So we'll go ahead and move on. Were you going to talk next, LaShanya?
Yes, I'll talk. Can you hear me?
We can.
Okay, awesome. One of the things for me, my passion is helping people. All people. I think it's important that some of the things that home ownership affords you. A lot of times, my biggest thing, what I focus on is generational wealth. That's a passion for me. And a lot of times, we didn't have, like she said, we didn't have the opportunity to pass things down to our families. What we did have was, ethics and, hard work and those kind of things, which are good. But home ownership is amazing because it's generational wealth. It's so many things that you can do by owning a home. So my goal is to help as many people that look like me, to get in homes and let them know that it's not as hard as it has been before.
Thank you. Next. Just click off mute and then talk. You got to take off your mute. Yes, ma'am, Miss Sandra. Hit mute. There you go.
Okay. When I first got into real estate, it wasn't really my passion. It was my husband's passion. Him and I went to school together, but at the time he was called out on his job, so he couldn't do it, so I did it. But since I've gotten into it, I've grown to love it. And one of the things I like about real estate, I love helping people, like LaShanya said. I like educating people because a lot of people out there don't know what it takes to get a house. A lot of times people don't think their credit is good. And then when you check their credit is perfect. So my thing is educate people in getting a home.
Thank you. Next.
So a really big thing for me, I bought my first home when I was 23 years old. And my home buying experience was not the absolute best. So when I got into real estate, well, that was one of the reasons why I got into real estate, is because I wanted to learn more about, real estate. And once I got into it, I'm just like, wow, like these are things that I didn't know that I should have knew. So now that I'm in real estate, I make sure that I educate my customers. Now I'm a real estate lover. All things real estate, I love it. I love talking to people about real estate. I love, helping them, guiding them. Again, a lot of people my age, the younger generation, don't think that they can, but you can, because we are unfortunately not educated on what it takes to become homeowners. Like Miss Sandra said, they think they need this, big old credit score, but then when check their credit score, they're right where they need to be. So I'm really in it now to educate people on home ownership and letting them know that it is possible.
Thank you, Charlisa. Josh. I think he's frozen. Oh no, go ahead. You can go ahead. We can hear you now. Josh.
Yes. So
Oh, you're static. We can't hear you.
okay, yeah, I'm here.
Go ahead. Why did you get into real estate?
Can you hear me?
We can. Can you hear us?
Oh,
Oh, y'all better stop using all these cricket phones, because he said he was on his phone. That's that cricket and that boost. Don't come through right. You gotta have that good connection. He'll be back as well. And so it was something that was great, because I wanted to say something about what Charissa said. Guys, I mean, again, the millennials, they're so important, guys. And the one thing that I wanted to say, kudos to you for buying a home at 23 years young. That's commendable. We need more of our millennials to do that, to get those homes early. With the NAREB and JREB, one of our initiatives is called 2MN, 2M5, 2 million in 5 years. And so we want to see 2 million homeowners in 5 years, Black, African-American homeowners. And then something else that we have is that we were promoting is just that millennial home ownership. Millennial home ownership is so important. We got to learn how to buy the house before the car. Too many of our millennials want to go get the 70, 80, 90, $100,000 car. And I always say they have a Land Rover with a landlord, and that doesn't match. You can't have a Land Rover and a landlord. Those two don't go together. And so we got to get our millennials to understand that, get the house and then the car. And so, Josh, what were you going to say?
yes. I'm so happy that I'm back. I'm sorry for the delay, you all. So each of everybody in this chat has spoken on some great points, and one big key point for me is passing down something to the next generation, because a lot of times when a family member passes away, they're left with nothing, and to have a home that's a sacred place, to know where you spent time and years spending time with your family, to be able to pass that down to generations and generations is a beautiful thing. And then also owning a home is very important, because like I said, you need that place to come home to, like your own sanctuary. And it's just better. It's a great investment. It's better to have a home before the nice vehicle. And then also, if you invest your money right.
I don't know. Y'all listen. I don't know what they're doing. Listen, I'm going to tell you why real estate. For me, some of you all may have heard that because people always like, well, how do you leave being a college professor and transition into real estate? And it was for some of the reasons that some of our guests have spoken about. I was asked that question earlier, and I said it's because, like Josh just said, you want a home, you want something that you can leave to others, you want that generational wealth. But in addition to that, we have to learn as African Americans that renting is not where it's at. We are serial renters. We will rent for 10 plus years. And when we're meeting with customers and we're talking to them, we're letting them know that, listen, you are paying a mortgage. You're just paying someone else's mortgage, right? And so for me, the reason I got into real estate is because I grew up in the projects, and in the 10th grade, we moved into a rental home. And my mother lived in that rental home for over 27 years, renting before being displaced because the original homeowner did not pay the property taxes. And when I reflected on what happened to my mom, I realized that I had aunts and cousins and uncles and friends, peers, and people that I didn't know in my neighborhoods, that there were generational, like you grew up in the projects, and like you were there, and then your daughter was there, and then your grandchildren were there. And there was like this pride of having 3 and 4 generations in the projects or in an apartment. And I realized that we must stop being serial renters, because the first step to any type of generational wealth is real estate. Any millionaire that you look at, any person who is wealthy, you're going to know that a lot of their wealth, a significant amount of their wealth came from ownership. And so we have to help to reset those mindsets as it relates to home ownership in our neighborhoods, in our communities. Was there something else, Josh, that you wanted to add? Because I know you were cut off. I don't know if he's hitting the wrong button. I think maybe when he's trying to hit mute, he might be hitting League Studio or something, but he'll be back. And so that is my why. And I feel like when you have a why, if your why is significant in real estate, it'll fuel your how. And so this real estate market is aggressive, y'all. This market right now, that's our next question. We're going to the next topic, guys. We're going to talk to you guys about the market. The market right now is hot, on fire, burning up. It is something that we could not have anticipated. We all thought as real estate professionals that the COVID hitting was going to cause the real estate market to go down. And guys, it did the complete opposite. And so we are busier than we've ever been as real estate agents. But unfortunately, as busy as we are, there are a lot of people who are still unable to purchase housing. And so, guys, what are you seeing out there in the market? Let's talk a little bit about the market.
What I am seeing is houses offers are going a lot higher than what the houses are listed for. And I'm also seeing where a lot of buyers are paying closing costs for the seller now because
So
there are
did you
no
guys hear that?
houses out there.
Did you hear that? We're seeing properties that are listed, right? And let me tell you a little background. When you see a property that's listed, it should be listed based on what we call a comparative market analysis. We're looking in the market to see what those properties should go for. Well, we list according to that. We're looking in the neighborhood to see, okay, these properties are running for this, they're running for that. What we're seeing is that properties are listed at a certain price point, like Sandra said, but they're selling for 10, 20, 30, in excess, guys, of $100,000. I spoke to someone who works for Fannie Mae, and Fannie Mae deals with why did I forget the word? Foreclosure. They deal with when the homes are lost by the property owner, and they resell them below market back into the real estate market. She stated, one of my colleagues stated that it sold for $100,000 over the offer price. I'm sorry, over the list price. That is madness. Right now we're seeing $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 over. So that was a great point, Sandra. So competitive, so on fire that at one time buyers will be coming in and asking for a closing cost. And so what closing costs are, guys, those are the costs that you pay when you buy a home. And our lender is going to talk a little bit about some of those things. She's going to hit you from that financing side. But those closing costs, they can range to about 1 to 2.5%, 3% of your 4% of the loan, 2 to 4% of the loan. I'm sorry, of the purchase price, not the loan, the purchase price. 2 to 4% of your purchase price is your your closing costs. We're seeing buyers offering to pay the seller's closing costs. And it was always the other way around before this market got so crazy. So LaShanya, you want to add to that as our lender?
Yes, ma'am. Listen, I know people saying it's not a time to buy. It is a seller's market, and that's the thing. It's a seller's market, and so that's why people are doing just what Doc said there, because it's dry. It's like every house got multiple offers. It's like it's just everything. However, even though they're paying that, rates are ticking up, but rates are still lower than they've been, because a couple years ago, people was happy about getting 8%. So really, and they were happy about getting 8%. And now, so even if 4%, 3.25, that's still good. If you have a 600 credit score, you know what I'm saying, you can get 3.75, 3.875. That's great, because back in the day, you would have got 9 or you would have gotten 10. So she's right. It's really good, and absolutely, when at one point, sellers were paying just about everything just to get you to purchase the house, but now the tables are turned. So you know what I'm saying, when you come to the table, you definitely got to be ready to play ball.
That is so true. And another thing, just to add to what LaShanya was saying, we were talking about when people are paying more and more over the listed price, the purchase price. Well, the lender is only going to loan the appraised value. They're only going to give you what the property appraises for by the appraiser. And so many times those buyers are coming out of pocket for that additional money, right? That's how crazy this market is. And we'll, at the home buyer seminar, we'll talk about the different loan types, because some loan types won't allow that, like that FHA product. And so we'll be giving you that information at the home buyer seminar. But yeah, guys, this market it's something. Does anybody else want to add to that, to the market?
So for me, my niche, and I specialize in first-time home buyers, is definitely a hot, crazy market right now. And, I recently just went under contract on a home, but we were just so nervous because, the multiple offers that are being put on this home, and we're just like nervous, like, nail biting, like, are we going to get it? Because, we can only offer what we have. So for the buyers, it can be a little bit discouraging, but like Miss LaShanya said, do not get discouraged. I know a lot of people are like, right now is not the good time to buy. That's not 100% true. There's different ins and outs, and with the the right realtor, they can help you make it happen.
Yes, so and true. And so Charlize was talking about multiple offers. And so again, what that is okay, here it is. They put a house up on yesterday, and it's in a certain price point. Well, 20 of us go look at that house in one day. And then here it is, 8 of us put in an offer. And so what the realtor who listed the property is she has multiple offers that she must submit to her seller. So what she does is reach out to us and say, hey, everybody that submitted an offer, we need for you guys to submit your highest and best offer. And so that is what is the best that you have to put on this table. And then they're going to take all of those offers, those multiple offers, to the seller. The listing agent is taking those to the seller, and they're going to review those. And that seller is going to select that offer that is most advantageous for him or her. And so they're selecting that offer based on different things like loan type. Again, are you asking for closing costs? Are you paying closing costs? How quickly can you close, etc. And so when you're working with knowledgeable realtors like Team PCR, because we're so knowledgeable, right? When you're working with them, they're going to be explaining that process to you. They're going to make sure you understand that process so that you are an informed buyer. We're going to make sure to hold your hand throughout the entire process. You're going to understand that process. So thank you, Lisa, for sharing that. Again, first-time home buyers is one of our passions at Premier Coast Realty. We all work with first-time home buyers and military. We actually have 2 programs for first-time home buyers and military personnel because, who better to help than someone who's purchasing their home for the first time and those who have served our country. And so we help both of those markets with pride and with commitment. We love working with them. And so thank you, Charlisa. Anybody else before we move to our next topic? Okay, good talk, guys, good talk. And so guys, if you have a question, if you put it in the chat, I will make sure that I share it and ask it. So what I'm doing now,
Dr. Chester.
Yes, go ahead, LaShanya.
I was just when Charlisa was talking, and I just wanted to just to add to what she was saying, which was really good, with having a knowledgeable realtor. And I just want to say, just be patient. Really, just be patient, especially when you just coming out of the gate. Don't get your mind, kind of do some prep for yourself, get your mind right, because you don't want to get so excited and that you just get anything. Because one thing that I can't speak for PCR is most of us, well, a lot of us attended Dr. Chester's class. And one of my biggest things, listen, I know I say her praises because nobody knows what it's like unless you've taken that test and you didn't pass. But I'm just saying, Dr. Chester is well-versed in the law. She teaches the class, and with our trainings, it's amazing, and it helps us to be good realtors because we don't want you to get tied up in something and then you can't get out, and now you hating it, and it was because you was putting the pressure on your realtor while they was trying to tell you some things, but you wouldn't listen. So please, guys, be patient and let us work for you. Let us work for you and trust us. You gotta trust us. It's not that
yeah.
we not out to get you. We don't listen. We don't get paid if you don't buy a house. So we have no desire to keep you from getting under contract. That is not our desire. But we are here to help and we're forging relationships. So you know what I'm saying? I like to say that because when it's over with, we don't want to have to duck you in the store. We don't want you ducking from us. You know what I'm saying? We forge relationships. We want to keep, you know what I'm saying, all things real estate. We want your families, we want your cousins, your aunt. So we want to do, you know, everything that we can to help you, but just be patient and and trust us and trust the process.
Yes. So great advice. And like you said, our goal at Premier Coast Realty, we're doing things like buyer consultations, right? Potential what buyer intake consultation. I tell all my agents, bring the customer in. We want to figure out what you want so we can make sure that we can make that happen for you. And know that we have your best interest at heart. At the end of the day, the listing side pays our commission. You don't pay for us. You know, there are buyers who don't understand that. You don't pay for your realtor. Unless your realtors charge you, but our company doesn't charge the buyer to work with them, right? Some brokerages do. Let me clarify that. But you don't pay for us. And so we're paid once the listing agent and the seller closes on the home, they pay both realtors. And so we're simply there to assist you in that process. We, again, want to make sure you understand that whole process. We want to make sure you understand lending. We want you to understand that there are different loan types out there, right? Sometimes what happens is a lot of you guys, you just go to your neighborhood bank because that's the bank you've been banking at. But that may not be the bank with the best product for you. And so it's your realtor's job, if you're not already pre-approved, to listen to you and say, you know what, based on what you've told me, the best lender partner for you is XYZ or ABC, because they know what you need and they know which one of our lender partners provide that. Your realtor is going to be the person like no other. They're going to wear, like I said, I wear a lot of hats. The realtor is your mama, your auntie, your best friend, the person you hate sometimes, the person you cry to. Like they wear, but biggest thing there is they're your advocate. They're your spokesperson. And so understand that. And so that is always going to be our job. And listen, yes, Alexis, come on, girl. Come on over to Premier Coast Realty. We are welcome. We will take you with open arms. Did we mention, guys, that we are a Black-owned real estate brokerage? And we did not also mention that we are all throughout the state of Florida. We are through Tallahassee, all the way down to Miami, Florida. We have agents all throughout the state of Florida. We're also in Georgia and Alabama. We're working on our Tennessee and North Carolina licenses next. And so even if you're not in Florida, Georgia, Alabama, where we're licensed, even if you're in another state or another territory, we can assist you in connecting you with one of our realtor partners. I talked about JREB. I talked about Premier Coast. We have realtor partners all across the country. And so the one thing that we know we have to offer our customers is expertise. We're going to give you that expertise and that passion. We're going to give you that commitment. And so, you know, again, the real juice, the real meat is going to be on April the 10th, Saturday, April 10th, 10 a.m., 12 noon. I added the chat. In the chat, I put the home buyer link. And then we also have another home buyer seminar for those who can't make it on the 10th. We have it on the 17th. So there's JREB is going to have one that we're hosting, JREB, on the 17th. And so make sure you guys are coming and getting in the know. Two things that we're going to talk about at the home buyer seminar that we're just going to touch on here: rent to own programs. Guys, there was no reason for my mom to rent for 27 years. There are national programs that literally will buy the home that you want while you get yourself together. They'll purchase it for you. You'll live in it as a renter from up to 0 to 5 years. Because the program, some of them do 3, some of them do 4. They'll do up to a maximum of 5 years. And then now that you've gotten your credit together, you've gotten everything together, they sell the home back to you. They buy the home for you. We have 3 rent to own partners that we work with at Premier Coast Realty. So there's rent to own. And so they buy it as a cash buyer. You live in it. But then when you're ready to buy, we send you to one of our lender partners. And if you need that home, that down payment assistance or whatever you need, you're able to get it. So we have the down payment assistance. We also have a phenomenal partner when it comes to credit repair. This man has been a godsend. He has been a godsend to us when it comes to credit repair. He has an app. You're going to be, you're going to have an app on your phone that's showing you what's going on. It's not going to be that you're calling somebody, you got to try to check in and they don't call you back, they don't email you back. It's going to be real time on your phone. Hey, this is what's happened for you. This is where we are. And he's our credit repair partner. He's proprietary to Premier Coast Realty. And we are so excited for that partnership that we forged with him. So again, we're going to be giving you all this information at our home buyer seminars on April the 10th for Premier Coast Realty and April 17th for the Jacksonville Association of Real Estate Brokers. So we want to make sure you guys have all the information that you need for home ownership. Does anybody want to add anything before I go to our next topic?
Yeah, she touched on a lot of great points. I just want to say, like, if there's any youth or millennials out here watching this, I'm 23. I joined this game because of things that happened in my childhood, and people have similar experiences of just not having home ownership and all the possibilities of how you can build generational wealth and stop the generational curse. So if you're a millennial, like within my age group, I'm 23, and I want to inspire people to join this field to break the curse of generational poverty and just build generational wealth, and knowing about passive income instead of working hard for the income. You want your passive income to cover your basic necessities of life, then you'll basically be able to think and do things freely as you would like to. So that's my little point on there. Just stay focused, stay on your journey, be positive, and hang around positive people who also are going in the same direction and the path that you're going.
Guys, I wish at 23 I was thinking like that. I was at FAMU, and that was, I mean, again, we have some of the sharpest young professionals at Premier Coast Realty. I am so proud of our millennials that we have and our exennials. I think that's what they call them now, right? Exennials. Z, and it's so many. Y'all know it's so many. But we have someone as young as 20 that's with the real estate company. You know, so those 20s and those 30s, we look at them as our owning broker likes to say, we looked at them, we envy them with praise, right? We envy them with praise. If only I had that thought process when I was in my 20s, you know, where would I be at right now? So kudos to you, Josh, for just how your mind is so, you know, so focused and so into just not yourself, right? You're into, like you said, generational, making sure that we're leaving something for the others. And that's something that, you know, as a people, I feel like we've been missing from our millennials. And then I meet people like you and others. I'm like, okay, we're not lost. There are still some of us that know how important it is to be a village, how important it is to know about the community. So thank you so much for those words, Josh. Anybody else?
Dr. Chester, I wanted to touch on when you made such a great point when you said how the seller pays for the realtor. I really don't think that people really get that. And I mean, to have a realtor that's knowledgeable and understands the market and understands the process and understand the laws to keep you protected and keep themselves protected, and that you're not paying for that as the buyer. That is so key. I know you talked about that, you know, a little ways back, but that was just so key to me because I don't think a lot of people that knew that. So that's key.
And something else I want you guys, thank you so much for those words, Sherry. Guys, no matter what you're buying, if you're buying new construction, you're buying resale, you should always have someone who represents your interests. A lot of times a lot of our buyers, they go out to new construction without anyone who represents them. When you're dealing with the salesperson at the new construction, they represent the builder. It's so important that you have someone who represents your interests. And so we've seen buyers go to builders and not have a real estate agent. There's no need for that, again, because you're not paying for us. They have to pay they're going to pay for you to have that representation. So make sure that you have that advocate and that person who's representing you. And so when it comes to buying, again, some of those things we're going to be talking about on Saturday, we're going to be talking about credit. We're going to be talking about credit repair. We're going to talk about, there are rent to own programs that right now, okay, you don't have the credit you need to buy a home, but you have a 550. Guess what? We have a program that as low as 550, we can get you in a rent to own program. We're going to be talking about credit repair, rent to own. We're going to be talking about the entire home ownership process. You know, there are so many misconceptions as it relates to what your credit score needs to be. You know, we hear like, it's so funny sometimes we sit down with first time home buyers and I'm like, girl, your score's in the sevens. Well, I thought I had to have like an 800. No, ma'am, that is not what the requirement is. And so each loan product has a certain loan credit amount. You know, FHA is as low as 580. And I think our partner goes as low as what? Say it, LaShawn, let them hear from you.
550.
So she can get you a loan for 550 with an FHA product. We're going to talk about what that FHA product means on Saturday. There's conventional loans. There's USDA loans. So there are these different types of loans that you guys need to be educated on. So you make sure that you're getting the correct product that's going to be the best one for you when you're starting that generational wealth. Anybody want to add something?
So we have two seminars that's coming up, right, Dr. Chester? One that's Saturday, the 10th, and then another one that's the 17th. Yes.
The one on Saturday, the 10th, there's a 10 a.m. and there's a 12 noon session. We've shared that event link, the Eventbrite link in the chat. The one that is Saturday, April the 17th, that date is wrong. The one that's April the 17th, you're not calling that number for that one. That one is going to be an Eventbrite link that I'm going to also post. That's the one with JREV. And so that one is going to only be one session. And we're doing that one at 10 a.m. So that one is from 10.
And they're both free.
Say that one more time.
And they're both
free.
Oh, yes. Everything is free. And we're even providing refreshments. At the one on the 10th, we're providing refreshments to you. And then there'll be a food truck out there. The one on the 17th, we're actually providing you with to-go lunches on your way out. And so, yes, they're both free. And we'll have raffles and giveaways. It's going to be a good time. You're gonna learn, but you're also going to enjoy the learning process as well. Yes. So good point. Thank you for that. Anybody else want to add to what we've said? You know, guys, we were hoping to get some of your questions. Like, what are some of the biggest misconceptions that you had? Oh, there is one. Look at right on time. Look at that. What about down payment? How much you need? Great question, Gina. Hopefully you're local, Gina, but if you're not, that's okay, because we're also going to be hosting virtual seminars. We're committing at Premier Coast Realty to host at least one monthly seminar every month. And so some of those will be virtual and some will be face-to-face. And so when they're virtual, we can get all of our people who are out of state so we can just get that basic process. But that is such a great question, Gina. And the answer to that question is, it depends on your loan type. It depends on the loan that you get. And so, LaShawn, you want to speak a little bit to that? You know, y'all, because I teach the class, I be trying to like I'm a little lender, but I'm not a lender. I'm gonna let the lender talk.
Listen, she is all things real estate. That's why we attached to her here. She's smart, y'all. She's smart. But right now it is different programs like Dr. Chester said. I know right now for Freedom, you need at least a 640, and that's for the bond program. So you have to have at least
a bond program, guys. The bond program, the Florida bond. So the federal government gives money through the Housing Urban Development, HUD. They give money to the states that elect to take that money. And when those states elect to take that money, they have money for the state of Florida to give down payment assistance. And so the Florida bond is a down payment assistance program, which when you have a 640 credit score or higher, they will give you money towards your down payment and closing costs. And so typically how much you need for a down payment, Gina, depends on your loan product. Like when it is an FHA product, it's 3.5%. So you're coming to the table with 3.5% of the property value. That's an FHA loan across the board. That's just what it is. And so if you were buying a home for $200,000, 3.5% is $7,000. Is that right? Mm-hmm. I know me and math not friends. Y'all know I'm a numbers person. And so that would be your down payment. But remember, Gina, you're also going to have closing costs with that too. And we said that's about 2 to 4% of the purchase price. And so those down payment and closing costs, that Florida bond is how much right now, LaShanya? How much are they giving?
You 7,500, and then there's another one for 10,000, up to 10,000.
So up to 10,000 and 7,500. So when you're getting those products, those that they only accompany an FHA loan, right? So when you get those products, you can those assist you with your down payment and closing costs, because the FHA product was created to stimulate home ownership. Because traditionally a conventional loan was 20%, and most people couldn't afford 20% down. That was traditionally. Now we have much lower conventional loan products, but the FHA's primary purpose is to stimulate home ownership. And so they have those down payment assistance and closing cost assistance programs that couple the FHA loan product in order to assist those who don't have the assets to get into a home. So hopefully, Gina, we answered your question. Anybody else have a question? Feel free to put it in the chat. So great question. Are there any things that you guys that maybe are frequently asked questions that you get from your customers before we wrap up, team PCR? What are some questions that you just want to dispel a myth right now?
I think credit is a really big thing. It's the most talked about thing. It's the most one of those things that there's different myths about it. There's different conversations that are true, not true. So that's a really big thing that I personally am running into when I have my buyer's consultation. What credit score do I need? I thought I needed this credit score. Then, like we said with Ms. LaShanya, we checked their credit score and they're in the 700s, but they thought they needed 850. So I think it's very important to monitor your credit score and kind of, reach out to a lender, reach out to a realtor and ask those questions like, hey, what do I need to qualify for a home loan? And your realtor or your lender can kind of explain the different loan types that there are out there so that you and the lender can kind of decide which option is going to be best for you. But I think credit is a really big thing that, especially with the younger generation, we are not educated enough on the credit portion of the home buying process.
That was such a good point, Lisa. When you said something else, that when you said that younger generation, student loans. Look at LaShanya. Ooh, student loans, guys. There are so many myths, misperceptions, misconceptions about student loans. And again, we'll touch on those at the home buyer seminar. But one of the things we want you to know, guys, that student loans do affect you very harshly when you are in deferment or forbearance, those things, because lenders are required to then take 1% of your total loan amount and apply it to your debt. They're looking at something called debt to income. What is your monthly debt? What is your monthly income? And each loan product has different DTIs or debt to income ratios. How much of your income can be going to debt? Well, when it comes to those student loans, when you have those student loans and you're not paying them, they're going to take 1% of that debt and add it to your monthly debts, which knocks so many of our millennials and our people coming out of college out of being able to purchase a home. Is that so, LaShanya? You want to expound on that? But did I say that correctly?
Yes, ma'am. That is true. One of the things, oh my God, that credit in those student loans, oh my goodness. Student loans, listen, please. When y'all get the student loans or, when they're offered to you and you have tuition reimbursement and all of that, please pay them. Don't take the money and live off it and try to, I understand things are hard, but when you don't pay it, I'm serious, you're going to hate it when you start trying to, purchase because you got to pay all of that. You know what I'm saying? Even if you had paid a portion of it, it wouldn't be as bad. But I'm telling you, student loans, now there is a conventional product that, you can take 0.5%, which is half of that. But again, your credit has to be in a position, you know what I'm saying, to be able to sustain it, or either at least, and your income. So, you know, that's one of the things, something Dr. Chester said. I'm not going to go deep because I know we're going to deal with this. And I think, but like Dr. Chester said, don't go buy these cars and then come buy a house.
That was going to be my next thing. Can you please talk to them about the cars?
Yes, because I'm telling you, I have had so many conversations where people argue with me because I had to tell them based on their credit score, listen, we can put you in a house, but your score, you're going to have to pay interest at 4.25. I'm going to just say, and do you know they get mad? Oh no, because my grandma, you know, and they talk about that, but their grandma did, but I look on your credit and you paying Toyota 29.99 on a depreciating asset, something that's not even it went down as soon as you drove off the parking lot. Real estate is a sound investment. It's a good sound investment. I'm telling you, please. If in it, don't, please, I'm begging you.
Before the car.
Please.
House before the car.
House before the car.
Conditions that I have, my millennials, all of my Joshes and my Gavins and my Charlisas, they're going to get shirts that's going to say house before the car. No Land Rover and landlord allowed. Right?
That's so good.
You can't have a Land Rover and a landlord. They don't go.
I like that.
Yes. You got to stop that. So great point. Sandra, did you want to add anything?
Yeah, I was gonna say that's one of the things that when you counsel your buyer, you sit with your buyer and all those things to your buyer about the credit. Don't buy anything. Don't co-sign for no one. Don't add anything else on their credit card. So you counsel your customers when you first get a buyer. That's one of the things that you counsel them about.
So true, and that's again because that's something that we take very seriously. We take buyer consultations. My agent will tell you, Doc is always telling us we got to do the buyer intake consultation. We got to do the buyer intake consultation, one, because we got to teach y'all that we together. We in a relationship. Because y'all will be out here cheating on us. When you start working with an agent, you know, if we're sending you homes and we're spending time with you, we're assuming that we're in a relationship. But you all will be out here seeing 3 and 4 different realtors because you just unfaithful, right? So the buyer intake lets you know that we're together. We're in a relationship. And in this relationship, it's going to be a give and take. And so let me show you what I'm going to give you. Now let me show you what you're going to give me. And so buyer intakes are so important because, again, they set the stage for how you need to do this program, how you need to do this process, etc. And so are there any other questions out there? Any other questions? That's right. Florida Bond, VA Conventional. Talk to them. So Maria is one of our agents in Daytona. We're going to be doing our home buyer seminars, guys, throughout the state of Florida. Not just going to be in Jacksonville. We're going to schedule them in Orlando where we have agents. We're going to schedule them in Daytona. We have agents in Miami and South Florida. We have agents in Palm Bay, the Space Coast area. We have agents in Tallahassee, Florida. Premier Coast Realty is about to take the housing industry by storm. We're going to make sure that we're doing our part to make sure that we get to that national initiative of National Association of Real Estate Brokers, 2 million homeowners in 5 years. Guys, we got to start owning homes. And one thing I want to say before I let them say their last things, their last words, is that we got to stop allowing the homes that we do have in our possessions to be taken from us for tax deeds, back taxes, because we're arguing. That's what happened with my mother. The mother died and she left the homes to the children, and they were fighting about hundreds of dollars for property taxes when there was a rent that covered all of that. There was rent that covered that in 1 month. And so we lose these homes that our grandmothers have. Stop losing your grandmama house. Stop it. These homes, if you don't want them, let them become rental properties for you and bring in, as Josh said, that passive income. You don't have to manage it. There are property management companies that will do that for you. But we got to work on our generational wealth and understand the importance of property ownership. Because as LaShanya said, that is an asset. It only appreciates, unlike that car that depreciates as soon as you drive it off the lot. We got to understand things that bring us money and things that cost us money. And so we're looking so forward to seeing you guys this Saturday or next Saturday. Or if you're not in Jacksonville and you're in one of those other cities, we're going to be doing, again, a home buyer seminar every month because Dr. Chester has a team called Team Hope. And Team Hope, we have members from Team Hope here. Is home ownership is possible for everyone. Don't go try to steal my stuff. I already got it. I already got the website and all, y'all. Don't come try to get me. Team Hope, home ownership is possible for everyone. And we about to get on our crusade, y'all. And we about to make sure that everyone knows that home ownership is possible for everyone. So home ownership is possible, guys. So keep hope alive, right? Because you can be on your own home. The path to home ownership differs for everyone. Some people's path is short. Some people's path may take a little while, but everyone will get there if they start on the path. If you don't start, you can't get to home ownership. And so we look forward to being the brokerage that you choose to assist you on your path to home ownership at Premier Coast Realty. We are available by phone, by email, by messenger, Facebook, 904-404-9797. PremierCoastRealty.com is our email. And on Facebook, we're Premier Coast Realty. And all of these lovely agents, these lovely and handsome agents work with Premier Coast Realty along with a ton of us. And we are here to service you guys. And we look forward to assisting you in your path to home ownership. So would you guys like to add anything before we go?
I just wanted to say.
Go ahead, Ms. Sherry.
Okay. I just want to say that a home buyer seminar is coming near you. It's coming near you. And we look forward to seeing you, like Dr. Chester said. Remember, generational wealth. Please, grandmama worked too hard. Granddaddy worked too hard to have something for you. You love grandmama, you love granddaddy, you love your aunties. Hold on to that. Hold on to that property. That's the legacy. Don't let that go. So we're excited.
Tanya?
Okay. I just want to say that the economy is good. Real estate is a sound investment. Rates are still low. I'm all things PCR, just so you know. I am also licensed in Florida, Georgia, and Alabama. All things
right, baby. She
PCR.
can originate all them loans. Y'all call us Georgia, Alabama. We here. That's
All
right,
things PCR. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. And we look forward to see. I look to see everybody come and support us on this Saturday.
Thank you, LaShanya.
Thank you for having me, Dr. Chester.
Thank you all for joining the team. Hope y'all home ownership is possible for everyone. This is just a few of our team. We got team members down in Daytona. I see Ms. Maria on here. We have team members down up in Tallahassee, Marcina and Lynn. We got a fire team, y'all. We do. Charlisa, you want to say anything? Your last word?
Just if you don't take away anything tonight, it's very important to have a very knowledgeable realtor. If you have a very knowledgeable realtor, you cannot lose, you can only win. So when you're looking for a realtor, you have questions about purchasing a home, you have questions about credit score, what the process is like, definitely get with a very knowledgeable realtor that has a heart and a passion for this field.
Right, that you're not just a bottom line. For some people, you're just a single. That's not what you are for Premier Coast Realty. We really, we do feel like this is our why. This is why we exist, is to help us become property owners. Josh?
I just want to say to all my millennials, stop trying to blend in, save your money, build your credit, get a home, get some assets, and let those assets cover for all the things that you want to buy. It's simple. Everybody tries to blend in. Just be the person that doesn't. It may take a little bit longer, but eventually you'll be on that path to home ownership. And that's what we all need to build that generation.
Yes, I love it. And so I want to again thank you all so much for joining us tonight. We will make sure that we share our flyers for Realtors Week in the chat. We'll post those pictures of those and the links, etc. But we are so excited that you guys joined us tonight. And again, Saturday, April the 10th, 10 a.m. and 12 noon, at the Salem Center. We didn't tell you where it was because we said you could find it on the Eventbrite link, but it is at the Salem Center on Bonneville Road. That is where the home buyer seminar will be on Saturday, April 10th. Saturday, April the 17th, it will be at Higher Ground Ministries, where our very own Terrence Brisbane is the pastor. So that home buyer seminar will happen at his church. And y'all, the church folk is going to be preparing our meal for us that we take with us. So y'all know it's going to be a good meal. Good meal. When church mothers make the meal, you know it's made with love, right? And so they'll be making our meals on Saturday, the April the 17th. We'll have a food truck on the 10th, and we'll also provide refreshments. And so we are so excited to assist you guys in home ownership. And again, remember, Team Hope at Premier Coast Realty. Home ownership is possible for everyone. We're there for you. We want to walk you through the process and help you start your path to home ownership. No matter how short or how long it is, we're going to be there to hold your hand. So thank you guys so much for tuning in tonight. And we look forward to working with you all in the very near future. Enjoy the rest of your Winning Wednesday, guys. Have a great night. Y'all don't leave yet. Stay there. Let me stop the broadcast.